Hello and welcome to a Blockchain Gaming World Daily with me, John Jordan. So the news we're looking at today from the world of blockchain is about SORARE. So SORARE is a fantasy soccer football kind of card game in which you select a team from real world players, and depending on the kind of rarity of those teams and how much money or ETH you've spent kind of collecting those teams, you can play in different leagues. What's interesting, I guess, about the news today is that they have done a deal with Major League Soccer. So SORARE is taking an interesting approach that actually a lot of the fantasy sports teams are doing, in that they're going out and they're doing deals with either leagues or with clubs to gain their digital kind of representation of their players. And this is obviously something that kind of gives a lot more kind of accessibility to players who know who the teams are, and maybe support certain teams or like certain players, and they have the real life kind of clubs and the real life badges and the real life kit. And that makes the whole thing much more kind of realistic and much more appealing as a product. The problem with this approach is, as we'll kind of get into, is that you need to be completist. So anyway, so what's happening here is SORARE has been around for getting on for a year now in sorts of kind of beta phases. It's gone through various different technologies. So it's not a proper kind of launch product yet. It has a whole bunch of clubs, mainly European, continental European clubs, and players associated with that. And now it's got these American players. What's interesting, though, is the deal is with the Major League Soccer's Player Association. So this is not with the league, Major League Soccer itself. This is with the Players Association. So the rights that they have, you can read here, is they have the image rights for the players. So look at the players here. We have the right photos of them, but they haven't got the license to put in the club crests or the kit. So we can see here. They are in ongoing discussions with Major League Soccer franchise to acquire the rights. So for the season 2020, we'll be issuing cards featuring players without the kind of sign or the kind of badge from their teams. And the other, there's always kind of detail here. So there's more than 450 players who are part of the Major League Soccer Players Association, but some of them aren't. So some of them presumably do their own deals, or this is all a work in progress. So this is kind of interesting. Obviously, this is great for people who are potentially going to play this game and are in the US or watch the Major League Soccer in the US, because this kind of gives them more realism, more players to go and collect. And also we can see here, so the games that they play is called SORARE 5. So you basically pick your 5 best cards and play, and it's just a kind of computerized kind of AI system that decides kind of who wins these things. So there's these different leagues that you can do, and you can, by playing those leagues, you can win. If you, depending on where you're on the leaderboard, you can win different things. So these are available. These cards are going to be available on the transfer market, so you can go and buy them. Although, let's go and have a quick look. We have to log in, so we're not going to be able to see this. But let's have a look at this SORARE website, so we can kind of get an idea what's going on here. I'm not going to log in. You can see here it's a web-based game, and we can kind of get an idea. Obviously, we see some of the teams that they have signed up here. So here's Juventus and Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most kind of famous footballers ever, I suppose, but certainly one of the most famous footballers still playing at the moment. And we can see here, the other thing might be difficult to see is, and then I think this is where we start to get a slight amount of confusion. This card here is a unique Cristiano Ronaldo card, so there's only one of those with the black background. We can see it's Cristiano Ronaldo playing for Juventus for the season 1920. But this guy here, I don't know who Joao Felix is, but you probably can't see here. This is one of 10, so there are 10 cards at this rarity level, and then Victor Osimhen, there is one of 100. So the problem you kind of get is obviously to make this thing scalable. You can't just have one of each player. because that would just make it impossible for people to collect teams. You kind of have this distributed rarity kind of scenario, which I think is confusing for people. Maybe I find it particularly confusing. I do think that's a way of it shows the sort of compromises you have to make if you're making real world games made on real world personalities. There's a compromise there already that particularly for me in the UK, there is no deals with any English Premier League team, so I don't know. Apart from I know Cristiano Ronaldo is, I can have some attempt at working out his value in terms of how much I would potentially spend to get him in my team. But Joao Felix, no idea whether he's valuable or not. And I guess the fun of this kind of game is trying to work out if players who you think are undervalued in the game that you can buy and then kind of do better with. So it's 48 clubs officially licensed. So it's quite a range. There are some Premier League clubs. So West Ham is licensed, I think. So there's Juventus and Atletico Madrid. So we have a Schalke, so we have German, French. So they're doing the licensing on a per club basis. And we can see here, as I said before, there's unique kind of one-off cards. There's super rare, only 10 of those, and only 100. The other thing you notice is per year. So each of these is on a seasonal basis. So you get this other confusion that you would have one of these every year potentially created. But other than that, I mean, SORARE is doing all the usual blockchain things you would want. So it's limiting scarcity, letting players trade them, because these cards, the stats of these cards is based on their real world performance. As someone has a good season or potentially a bad season, their value will go up or down on the marketplace. So in that sense, you're kind of betting, not with real money, but you're betting when you buy a card that you think they're going to have a good season. So from that reason, I think kind of SORARE is interesting. I can't really play it because I don't know any of the European teams, but it is interesting how active they are in getting these deals done. I don't know how expensive it is to get digital licensing deals at the moment. I don't think they have a lot of money, so I don't think it can be that expensive. I would say they're still in development, so they don't have like tons of users, I don't think. Actually, they are in the Ubisoft's Accelerator entrepreneur program at the moment, so they're still a fairly small startup team, but they seem to be making kind of good progress, at least in the functionality of getting their game up and running and doing the kind of deals you need to do. So worth keeping an eye out from that, at least. And thanks for watching. This is Blockchain Gaming World Daily, where we take a look at the world of blockchain games and see what the daily news is. So if that's your thing, please do subscribe to the channel. But thanks for watching this one, and hope to see you again soon.